After Xiao Zhan took the eyeball from Ming Yaozi's forehead, his life force and cultivation clearly dropped. Losing that eyeball was essentially like losing half of his life. At that moment, blood continued to flow from the center of Ming Yaozi's forehead. His cold, murderous gaze locked onto Xiao Zhan as he gritted his teeth and demanded, "Who are you? Who exactly are you?" Xiao Zhan raised a hand to his face and let out a forced smile, responding, "Still don't know who I am? Kid, you really aren't that smart." Ming Yaozi was stunned. His eyes widened as he looked Xiao Zhan up and down, then hesitantly spoke, "By you, are you Xiao Zhan?" Xiao Zhan smiled and covered his mouth, grinning mischievously. "Oh, so you finally remember who I am." Ming Yaozi's energy was fading, and his pupils were dull as he stared at Xiao Zhan. He forced a bitter smile and said, "At this point, you're the only one left on Tian Qiong Continent. I should have figured it out sooner. If you want to kill me, just do it already." With Xiao Zhan having taken his blood-colored eye, Ming Yaozi's soul was damaged as well. His cultivation immediately plummeted. From being at the peak of the Low Saint realm, he now fell to the 7th level of Low Saint. For someone like Ming Yaozi, a genius who was once seen as the heir to the emperor, it was an almost unbearable blow. It was hard for him to accept how far he had fallen so quickly. Seeing the despair in Ming Yaozi's dazed eyes, Demonic Chu slightly curled the corners of his mouth into a smile and said, "Your talent isn't bad. It's truly a pity to take your life. I've decided to save you, to transform you, so I can use you to make you serve me completely." Upon hearing this, Ming Yaozi suddenly remembered the time when Tu Shan Yu called Xiao Zhan his master. He was certain that Xiao Zhan had done something to make Tu Shan Yu so loyal. Ming Yaozi's pupils instantly shrank and he glared at Xiao Zhan with contempt. He panicked and shouted, "You, what you want to do to me? Don't come any closer." Demonic Chu flashed a cruel smile and looked at Ming Yaozi, then spoke calmly, "Becoming my subordinate is a rare opportunity for you. It's also a mercy on my part." As Demonic Chu spoke, he slowly raised his right hand. At the same time, he released a crimson-red block of crimson spirit, which enveloped Ming Yaozi in a dark, suffocating cocoon. An hour later, Ming Yaozi emerged from the crimson spirit cocoon. The moment he saw Xiao Zhan, he immediately bowed deeply, showing the utmost respect and said, "Ming Yaozi greets my lord. Thank you, my lord, for your kindness in granting me a new life." Xiao Zhan nodded slightly, smiling with satisfaction. From his store ring, he took out a jade talisman and tossed it to Ming Yaozi. "Good. I actually have something for you to do. 2 days from now, go to the city lord's mansion and find a way to crush this jade talisman. Remember, don't attract anyone's suspicion, especially not the Saint Kings inside the mansion." Ming Yaozi responded, "Yes, master." With that, he disappeared without a trace. After Ming Yaozi left, Tu Shan Yu awkwardly turned to Xiao Zhan and said, "Master, it seems like Yu is about to break through." Xiao Zhan was startled by the news and let out a soft grunt. He turned his gaze to Tu Shan Yu, only to be surprised to find that her aura was clearly rising at an alarming rate. This was a definite sign of a breakthrough. Lu Yi, noticing the change, spoke up, "She's about to break through. From the looks of it, it's not just a simple breakthrough from the 4th to the 5th level of Great Saint. This must be connected to the eyeball you devoured." Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan immediately turned around and picked Tu Shan Yu up. Tu Shan Yu was caught off guard by Xiao Zhan's sudden action, feeling a bit flustered and shy. "Master, I'm about to break through. Please put me down. I have to endure the lightning tribulation." Xiao Zhan looked at Tu Shan Yu and smiled as he said, "Let me help you break through, Yuer." A little while later, Xiao Zhan carried Tu Shan Yu directly into his room. It wasn't clear how he helped her with the breakthrough, but occasionally sounds of pleasure and heavy, labored breathing could be heard coming from the room. Inside Xiao Zhan's room, Tu Shan Yu's face was filled with pain, mixed with intermittent moans as she gasped, "My lord, Yuer, I'm about to break through." A few moments later, with Xiao Zhan's enthusiastic assistance, Tu Shan King Su also reached the peak of her breakthrough. She cried out, "Did I break through?" After several hours of intense pleasure, Tu Shan Yu was completely exhausted. She obediently lay on Xiao Zhan's chest, clinging to him tightly. Her face was flushed, and she softly whispered, "My lord, you're invincible." Not only did Tu Shan Yu's cultivation rise quickly, but Tu Shan King Su's and Sun Peng's cultivations also shot up at the same time. Switching scenes in a luxurious tea house somewhere in Tianyao City, Tian Mi and Jen Jun was sitting drinking tea. Suddenly, a look of surprise appeared on his face as he gazed into the distance. He murmured to himself, "You were actually broke through." Tian Mi and Jen Jun felt both relieved and fearful. He thought to himself, I didn't expect my little sister, who's always so playful, to break through and reach the 5th level of Great Saint. Her inner state has even matched mine now. I have to go check on her right away." As soon as he finished speaking, Tian Zhen immediately tore through the void and headed to the Tushan Hotel to find Tu Shan Yu. When he arrived at the door, he saw Tu Shan Yu stepping out of her room. He called out to her, "Yuer, have you broken through?" Tu Shan Yu's face couldn't hide her joy as she nodded and softly responded, Tian Zhen looked at her, his eyes full of curiosity. "Why did you suddenly break through 2 interstates in a row?" Tu Shan Yu's pupils slightly shifted and she smiled. "Do you really want to know?" Tian Zhen immediately nodded, replying sincerely, "Of course I want to know." But in response to this question, Tu Shan Yu shook her head and sighed lightly. "You'll probably be disappointed. My success right now can't be replicated." Hearing this, Tian Zhen gave Tu Shan Yu a puzzled look, then furrowed his brows and asked, "Can't be replicated? Why?" Tu Shan Yu's expression became a little more defensive as she answered, "Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand." Seeing Tu Shan Yu's attitude, Tian Zhen couldn't help but feel a pang of anger. He never expected that the sister he cared for so deeply would, after growing up, have secrets she wouldn't share with him. This left him feeling a mix of hurt and helplessness, but he didn't dare confront her about it. Tian Zhen was about to speak when Tu Shan Yu suddenly asked, "By the way, do you want to meet Nong Yu?" As soon as Tian Zhen heard the name Nong Yu, he immediately felt irritated. With a frustrated look, he turned his head and angrily snapped, "What do I need to see him for?" "No meeting then." Tu Shan Yu didn't waste any more words. She turned and walked into the room. As she left, she smiled and said, "Then I'll go back to focusing on my inner state. You can go wherever you want." Tian Zhen was furious at her response. Gritting his teeth, he muttered to himself, "Ever since you started seeing Nong Yu, she's been ignoring me. I don't want to see that Nong Yu guy at all. First, I need to figure out who he really is." 2 days later, at Tian Yao City's palace in the Black Stone Hall, Tian Zhen was reporting the situation to Golden 8 Venerable and Butterfly. "My lords, we can now be certain that there are no more of Mr. Feng's associates left in Tian Yao City." As he said this, Tian Zhen subtly lifted his head, his gaze a little hesitant. He looked over at Butterfly. Butterfly's expression was completely unreadable as she calmly said, "It's fine, feel free to speak up if something's on your mind. Don't hold back." After receiving the approval from the 2 masters, Tian Zhen continued, "Lord Mr. Feng, the leader of the human race, always insists that he's telling the truth. He's nearly gone mad. He keeps shouting from inside the dungeon, repeatedly claiming that he hasn't lied. Instead, he says the problem lies with your powers, Butterfly. After observing for 2 days, I'd like to humbly offer my opinion. It's very possible that he's really telling the truth." Butterfly raised an eyebrow and asked with a faint frown, "If he's not lying, then why did my precious jade stone lens shatter?" Tian Zhen thought for a moment, then replied, "There are only 2 possibilities. 1, your powers really did malfunction. Or 2, some powerful being took advantage of your moment of inattention and secretly interfered." Butterfly rested her chin on her hand, her eyes narrowing as she looked at Tian Zhen with suspicion and asked, "Tian Bian, which of these possibilities do you think is more likely?" With a serious expression, Tian Zhen answered, "I believe the second option is more likely. It's very possible that the Supreme Divinity was behind this. Remember, Tai Su Holy Son Xiao Zhan is currently training in Tian Yuan City. After he tricked and killed over 10 beastmen great saints, what gave him the courage to go to Tian Yuan City? Doesn't he fear being assassinated by the Saint King great saints there? Who exactly is backing him? Who gave him the guts to act so recklessly? The answer is simple." Hearing this, the Golden 8 Venerable Butterfly immediately nodded, staring at Tian Zhen and asking, "Are you saying that the Tai Su Holy Son Xiao Zhan has already arrived in Tian Yao City? What is he after?" Tian Zhen gave a smug smile. Though he was a very intelligent person, always thinking things through carefully, even he could make mistakes. He hadn't expected us to leave Mr. Feng alive, which allowed us to deduce his existence. If anything, it was his overconfidence that was to blame. With that, Tian Zhen turned to the 2 venerables, once more sharing his own thoughts. Xiao Zhan, the Tai Su Holy Son, was the top low saint from a year ago. He is definitely connected to Lu Hong Yi. Before he could finish his sentence, a fully armored guard quickly entered the hall. He knelt halfway to the ground, clasped his hands, and reported, "My lords, Ming Yao Zi from Wan Yao Valley requests an audience." Butterfly was a bit surprised when she heard the guard's words and wondered, "Asterisk Ming Yao Zi, What is he doing in Tian Yao City? Asterisk. Golden Ape Venerable's eyes flashed with surprise for a brief moment before quickly returning to normal. However, he didn't think much of it. Tian Yao City and Wan Yao Valley had many business dealings, and Ming Yao Zi was known as a prodigy from Wan Yao Valley. It wasn't unusual for him to come to Tian Yao City to meet with the elders. With this in mind, Golden Ape Venerable spoke up, for now, invite him to the main hall to rest. We'll meet with him ourselves shortly. The guard respectfully acknowledged the order and left. Golden Ape Venerable then turned his attention to Tian Mian Zhen Jun and said casually, Tian Mian, continue. A few days later, in the northern part of Tian Yao City, Xiao Zhan and Lu Yi were secretly observing the city lord's mansion from a distance. At this moment, Xiao Zhan seemed to sense something. He turned to Lu Yi with a smile and said, the plan is working. Lu Yi, let's start the operation. Lu Yi nodded slightly and responded, that Lo Saint is so angry. I'm afraid something's happened to Golden Ape Venerable. Be careful. As Lu Yi finished speaking, Xiao Zhan's eyes suddenly showed a look of surprise. He looked down toward the area below Head North. He and Lu Yi both realized that from all directions surrounding Head North, countless beastmen cultivators had appeared, though it wasn't clear from where. All of them were charging toward the two of them in the sky, trying to trap Xiao Zhan and Lu Yi. Seeing this, Xiao Zhan's eyebrows immediately furrowed. His gaze filled with disbelief as he muttered, what's going on? These beastmen cultivators should have been at the city lord's mansion, guarding it. Why do they seem to know I was coming to Head North? This doesn't feel right. Something is definitely off. Lu Yi gave Xiao Zhan a quick glance and asked, has the enemy been preparing for this? Has your plan already been exposed? Xiao Zhan frowned slightly. He rubbed his chin, starting to think through the situation. The problem must be with that Mr. Feng. Could it be that he's still alive? It had to be said that this turn of events was rather unlucky. Xiao Zhan, of course, wasn't aware of the details, which were based on Tian Mian Zhen Jun's speculation, along with the doubts of Butterfly and Golden Ape Venerable. Butterfly had once again used divine powers to interrogate Mr. Feng, but this time the precious jade stone lens wasn't crushed. This meant that Mr. Feng wasn't lying. The only possible explanation then was that a powerful figure had secretly interfered and shattered the precious jade stone lens. So Golden Ape Venerable and Butterfly had come up with a plan. Unfortunately for Golden Ape Venerable, when Ming Yao Zi came to visit the city lord's residence, he secretly triggered the Great Tao curse hidden in the two war fans of Butterfly Empress. Just as Xiao Zhan had predicted, Golden Ape Venerable stepped in to take the hit for Butterfly, sacrificing himself in the process. He was dead on the spot. At the same time as they were heading towards Head North, Tian Mian Zhen Jun's voice, filled with shock, turned toward King Yu, the great saint, and asked, King Yu, what did you say? Did you just say Golden Ape Venerable is dead? King Yu, the great saint, had a somewhat hazy expression. His face carried a hint of sadness as he nodded slightly. That day, I personally saw Golden Ape Venerable use his body to block the Great Tao curse. He died right there on the spot. Tian Mian Zhen Jun's face immediately turned pale. His expression was filled with disbelief, and he stared at King Yu, desperately asking, how could this be? How is this even possible? A Saint King isn't that fragile. King Yu, the great saint, gently shook his head, his tone heavy with confusion. He still couldn't understand why Butterfly was affected by the Great Tao curse. Golden Ape Venerable had sacrificed himself to stop it, and died instantly in the process. Tian Mian Zhen Jun stared ahead, momentarily lost in thought. In his mind, the image of Golden Ape Venerable kept flashing. Golden Ape Venerable was a proud and powerful Saint King, someone who had always shown great favor to Tian Mian Zhen Jun. It was also because of Golden Ape Venerable that Tian Yao City had supported the Tushan clan. Not only that, Golden Ape Venerable had once saved his life, but before Tian Mian Zhen Jun could repay the favor, his benefactor had suddenly died. Seeing the sadness on Tian Mian Zhen Jun's face, King Yu, great saint, couldn't hold back and repeatedly called out, Tian Mian, Tian Mian. Tian Mian Zhen Jun snapped back to his senses. He ran a hand over his chin and began to analyze the situation. Xiao Zhan, it must be Xiao Zhan who used some trick on the two battle fans of the Butterfly Empress. Only he would have had the chance, only he would have had the motive. Yes, it's definitely that Xiao Zhan. He's the only one who could come up with something so underhanded and cruel. Hearing this, King Yu, great saint's eyes widened in shock. He stared at Tian Mian Zhen Jun and exclaimed, Xiao Zhan? Why him? What should we do now? Tian Mian Zhen Jun's voice was urgent as he replied, that's why we need to rush to head north. Xiao Zhan's goal is clearly to take Lu Hongyi away. We have to stop him. Ideally, we should kill him. As Tian Qiong spoke, he raised his hand and tore open the fabric of the void. Meanwhile, at head north, inside the golden orb, Lu Hongyi and Lin Qiao, following the information provided by Tu Shanyu, had successfully modified the Great Formation. It was now ready to be activated at any moment. At that moment, Lu Hongyi and Lin Qiao stood on top of a tall building, their faces filled with worry and impatience as they gazed into the distance. Beastmen, who seemed to have appeared from nowhere, were suddenly gathering from all directions. Their eyes were bloodshot, filled with murderous intent. The 8 great saints and the saint kings of Tianyao City had all appeared at once, including the butterfly, Xiao Venerable, and the barbarian tribe. What's going on? What is happening? Have the beastmen gone mad? Could they be planning to attack the golden orb? Lin Qiao, standing beside Lu Hongyi, looked panicked and exclaimed, "Why are the beastmen attacking here? Have they found out that we've broken the seal?" At that moment, Tianqiong stepped out from among the beastmen. He looked around at the surroundings and then spoke loudly. "Xiao Zhan, I know you're here. Your movements have been exposed. Come out now and stop hiding." Hearing Tianqiong mention the name Xiao Zhan, Lu Hongyi's soft body immediately trembled. She turned her head, looking around in shock, and exclaimed, "Xiao Zhan." In the quiet moment that followed, demonic Chu, Lu Qingyu, and Lu Yi stepped out from the void. Lu Yi wore a long white dress, exuding an otherworldly elegance and beauty. His dark robe billowed in the wind, his long hair flowing, looking as handsome and carefree as a star. He smiled brightly, full of energy, and said, "Haha, Tianbian, you truly live up to your reputation." Liu Hongyi stood behind, her gaze fixed on Xiao Zhan's figure. Though his appearance had changed a bit compared to his past life, no matter how much his looks had shifted, she still recognized him instantly. Liu Hongyi's lips parted slightly, and a tear rolled down her delicate cheek as she looked at his back, moved, and murmured, "It really is you. I knew it was you all along." With that, Liu Hongyi reached up to wipe away the tear that had slid down her face. She smiled softly, saying, "I never imagined I'd get to see you again in this life." Below Tianyao City, beastmen warriors stood in every direction, packed tightly together in 3 layers, surrounding the golden orb in the center. They formed such a dense circle that not even an ant could slip through, let alone a fly trying to escape. The beastmen's eyes burned with a fierce, battle-ready energy. They all stared fiercely at Xiao Zhan, suspended in midair. The human had carried out a plot to assassinate Tianyao City and the Golden Ape Venerable. Xiao Venerable, his eyes flashing with deadly intent, fixed his gaze on Xiao Zhan. His voice was cold, full of killing intent as he spoke. "Have you finished laughing? Is it really that funny? If there wasn't a supreme divinity standing next to Xiao Zhan right now, I would have already taken action. I would have torn this brat apart and made sure he couldn't cause any more trouble." After a moment of wild laughter, Xiao Zhan grew serious. He cupped his hands toward Xiao Venerable and said, "Xiao Venerable, you're a senior, and I must still show respect for your status. Xiao Zhan holds great respect for this kind of powerful expert, not because he respects you personally, but because he respects the immense power you command." At this moment, standing among the beastmen, the butterfly suddenly spoke up. "Xiao Zhan, I want to ask you something. You were the one who tampered with the butterfly empress's weapon, weren't you?" Even though Butterfly already had a strong suspicion about the answer, she couldn't help but ask. Xiao Zhan didn't deny it. He immediately nodded and replied straightforwardly, "It's true, I did it." When Butterfly heard Xiao Zhan's response, she took a deep breath. She looked at him with a gaze full of coldness and snapped, "Butterfly Empress likes you a lot. She likes you a great deal. I've tried to advise her multiple times, but unfortunately, her stubbornness prevents her from listening to me. And yet, you've taken advantage of her affection for you, poisoning her master. Don't you feel the slightest bit of shame?" Xiao Zhan was taken aback by her words. He tilted his head back and burst into laughter, laughing so hard his back nearly cracked and tears welled up in the corners of his eyes. If Lu Yi hadn't been supporting his waist, he would have likely fallen from midair. Demonic Chu's laughter echoed across the northern sky. The beastmen below watched him laugh, their eyes flashing with a mix of anger and murderous intent. After a long while, he straightened his back and casually said to Butterfly, "Senior Butterfly, at your age, are you really unable to see the truth?" Seeing Xiao Zhan's arrogant posture, Butterfly's eyes burned with fury. She could hardly resist the urge to rush forward and strike him down into dust with a single blow. Xiao Zhan's eyes briefly flashed with a blood-red light before it disappeared. He spoke, his voice calm, but filled with a quiet intensity. "In this world, what's right and wrong? If there's any such thing, it's only about interests, only about differing perspectives. At this point, demonic Chu slowly lowered his head. He glanced around the room, a mocking smile curling at the corner of his lips. Not long ago, your Saint Kings took advantage of my Constitution trials to launch a sneak attack on me, seriously injuring my Saint Lord Tai Su. That tactic was pretty despicable, don't you think? So if I use the Butterfly Empress to trick you, does that count as tit for tat? Don't tell me my methods are dirty. In the end, everyone is just as vile as each other. Butterfly, hearing this, fell silent and didn't respond. Xiao Zhan was right. In this world, there's no clear-cut right or wrong, just manipulation and different points of view. Inside the golden orb, Lin Qiao reached out and grabbed Lu Hongyi's arm. Her eyes sparkled with joy as she asked, "Sister Lu, this is Xiao Zhan, right?" Liu Hongyi gave a small nod, her voice soft as she confirmed, "Ma'am." She turned her gaze towards Xiao Zhan's back, her admiration clear as she thought to herself. He stilled Xiao Zhan. Facing the thousands of beastmen experts surrounding him, the powerful Saint Kings, he remains calm, fearless, and even dares to taunt and mock them. He's become so strong, so dazzling. From his words, I can tell, he seems to have used the Butterfly Empress, indirectly taking the life of Golden Ape Venerable. He hasn't changed, he's still someone who will stop at nothing to win. Suddenly, Lu Hongyi glanced toward Lu Yi's back. Her brow furrowed slightly as she silently wondered, who is the woman next to him? Why is she so close to him like that? Tianqiong Continent, standing below, couldn't hold back any longer. He turned to Xiao Zhan and questioned him. Xiao Zhan, there's a supreme divinity protecting you. If you want to take Lu Hongyi away, Tian Yao City might not be able to stop you. If you were willing to sit down and negotiate, why did you feel the need to resort to such drastic measures? Is it really your goal to make everyone in Tian Yao City furious over the death of Golden Ape Venerable? Is that the outcome you want? Tianqiong Jun's eyes revealed his anger, which he couldn't hide. He couldn't shake off the haunting image of Xiao Zhan's eyes, which often appeared in his nightmares. He honestly couldn't understand why Xiao Zhan would do something like this. Xiao Zhan smirked and answered with a slight grin. Who told you I'm only trying to take Lu Hongyi and the others away? Hearing this, Tianqiong Jun became furious and shouted, Kid, you've already been exposed. What are you still pretending for? Tu Shan Yu, standing among the beastmen and hiding in a corner, was secretly watching, hoping to find an opportunity to help Xiao Zhan. Upon hearing Xiao Zhan's words, she was startled and thought to herself, Asterisk Master, what do these words mean? Could it be that he has another way out, Asterisk? At that moment, Xiao Zhan coldly addressed the entire beastman tribe below, saying, I came to Tian Yao City to train. I heard that Shan Xiao Venerable of Tian Yao City ordered the capture of many humans with special abilities, intending to use their blood to forge treasures. I'm the holy son of the human race, naturally kind-hearted, and I can't stand seeing my people suffer. So I found a way to get here in order to rescue my fellow humans. As for T and me, you say we should sit down and negotiate. Do you think Shan Xiao Venerable will agree to that? As he spoke, Xiao Zhan curled the corner of his mouth into a smile and looked toward Shan Xiao Venerable. Shan Xiao Venerable caught the mocking smile and words from Xiao Zhan. He couldn't hide his anger, staring fiercely at Xiao Zhan and yelling, You! Before he could finish his sentence, Xiao Zhan continued, still grinning at Shan Xiao Venerable. If Shan Xiao Venerable isn't willing to negotiate, then why wouldn't I take the initiative and seize the advantage? Upon hearing this, Tianqiong Jun's face immediately darkened, and he silently cursed to himself. Asterisk, this brat, in order to erase himself, is not demonic Chu. Thus he no longer care about his reputation. What a shameless guy. Asterisk. Xiao Zhan curled the corner of his mouth into a smile, internally sneering. Asterisk, so you guessed I'm demonic Chu. So what? As Tai Su Holy Son, I risked my life to save my people from the beastmen. I didn't hesitate to secretly enter the beast tribe's territory, ignoring the risk of death. Who can say my actions are wrong? Asterisk. Asterisk, let me ask you this. Will you trust the beast tribe, or will you trust me? I'm not admitting to anything. What are you going to do about it? In the end, it's just speculation. Can you actually present any evidence? Asterisk. Skusk. Of course, I'm not afraid to admit that I am demonic Chu. It's just not the right time yet. My current strength is still too weak. If my identity were exposed now, it would inevitably cause some trouble. I just want to grow up in peace without anyone disturbing me. So if I can hide my true identity for a while longer, I will. Once I have enough power, then no one in this world will be able to do anything to me. You care to shout and oppose me. Whether you're from the beastmen or the human race, anyone who stands against me will die. Only power matters. Absolute power. Everything else is just an illusion. Shan Xiao Venerable stood below, suddenly curling his lips into a cold smile. Supreme divinity, Today, I want to test a little of your methods. With that, Shan Xiao Venerable released an overwhelming aura. The pressure of a supreme divinity began to spread, instantly making all beings from Great Saint downwards tremble in fear. Tian Mi and Zhen Jun, standing to the side, felt the force and couldn't help but take a deep breath. His face showed clear shock as he looked at Shan Xiao Venerable and thought, Supreme Divinity. Has Shan Xiao Venerable really reached that level? He's kept it hidden so well. Wait, no. He's only touched the threshold of a half-step Supreme Divinity. But even that is unimaginable. No wonder he's known as Shan Xiao Venerable. Above them, Lu Yi slightly furrowed his brows and quietly communicated with Xiao Zhan. Shan Xiao has actually reached the threshold of a half-step Supreme Divinity. To achieve this level in this era, his talent is no less than Tai Su Zhi's. And with the Imperial aura in his possession, I fear I won't be able to do anything about him for now. Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan's eyes briefly flickered with a sharp light before quickly fading. He furrowed his brows, silently thinking, asterisk I am discalculated. I never expected Shan Xiao Venerable to be this strong. Asterisk. According to Lu Yi's explanation, just Shan Xiao Venerable alone, combined with the Emperor weapon, would be enough to stop her. At that point, both the butterfly and Shan Xiao would likely try to take the opportunity to strike at him. If that happened, he would be in serious danger. Xiao Zhan's mind raced. Clenching his teeth, he suddenly reached out and grabbed Lu Yi's hand tightly. Lu Yi was taken aback by his sudden action. A faint blush appeared on her face, then quickly vanished. She glanced at Xiao Zhan, silently cursing him. Asterisk, what's wrong with this brat? How can he think about doing something like that? No, asterisk. Suddenly, demonic Chu slowly moved closer to Lu Yi. His face was serious as he looked at her and softly said, Lu Yi, take this. Lu Yi was stunned, sensing something was different. She felt an unfamiliar weight suddenly appear in her hand. Looking down, she saw a black Su Mai Shan floating in her palm. This is the Empress weapon, and it's the Tao of Strength Congenital Treasure. Could this mountain be the giant peak on that massive tree? Asterisk, so that's what this is. Asterisk, Lu Yi thought, a ripple of surprise stirring within her. She cast a glance at Xiao Zhan with her blue eyes, thinking to herself, asterisk, kid, how many more secrets are you hiding from me? Asterisk. Xiao Zhan knew exactly what Lu Yi was thinking, but he wasn't too concerned about it at the moment. His spiritual energy spread out, and he began to pass on the method for controlling Chu Mai Mountain to Lu Yi. In just a few breaths, she had absorbed all the information. Her eyes filled with astonishment because this magical treasure was incredibly powerful. It was even stronger than the Empress weapon by a long shot. At this moment, Sister Lu, who had been waiting inside, couldn't hold back and spoke up. The Tao of absolute strength, another Tao of absolute strength, a congenital magical treasure. You head. Hurry up and switch with me. You're not familiar with the Tao of absolute strength and you won't be able to unleash its full potential. Lu Yi certainly understood the situation. She really didn't want to switch places with Sister Lu in the purple robe, but the current circumstances didn't give her a choice. After a moment's thought, she gave Sister Lu a cold, icy stare and said in a frosty voice, the month isn't up yet. After this battle, you'll switch back with me. Lu Qingyu quickly agreed, all right. Sister Lu immediately focused her attention on the Chu Mai Mountain in her hands. A faint smile curled on her lips as she thought, asterisk I didn't expect Xiao Zhan, the little brother, to have such a treasure. Haha, asterisk. At this moment, everyone around them was once again amazed. Lu Qingyu Lu Yi, dressed in a white dress, had instantly transformed into Sister Lu, now wearing a magnificent purple gown. Her cold, aloof demeanor shifted into an enchanting, seductive aura. Her graceful movements naturally captivated everyone around her, making it impossible for anyone to look away. Shan Xiao Venerable's pupils immediately contracted, and he exclaimed in shock, a dual soul fusion. The purple soul has come out. Sister Lu gently raised her arm, pointing toward Chu Mai Mountain. She turned her head to look at Xiao Zhan, giving him a seductive smile, and coldly said, it's finally out. Little brother, you're very clever. You actually teamed up with that man in white to deceive me. Once this is all over, just wait and see how your older sister will deal with you. She chuckled menacingly. Xiao Zhan scratched his head with one hand, forcing a smile. Sister Lu, let's talk about that after we finish the task. Right now, the main issue is more important. Sister Lu let out a soft snort, her gaze sweeping across the entire scene before flashing a confident smile. With this treasure in my hands, I can deal with the 3 Saint Kings. As for the others, can you stop them? Xiao Zhan nodded, smiling confidently. Of course, sister. Don't forget, I've already made preparations. Good. Sister Lu cast a cold glance toward Butterfly, Shan Xiao Venerable, and all the beastmen present. In a chilling tone, she spoke. Well, Do you all want the fight be here? Although there was an agreement from the time of the primordial sacred era that battles between great saints must take place in the void, I have no problem breaking that agreement. But just so you know, it would only mean Tian Yao City gets destroyed. As she spoke, Lu Qingyu, or Sister Lu, tilted her head and glanced at the three venerable figures. She seemed to smile, but it wasn't a smile that brought comfort. It was one that sent a chill down anyone's spine. After a brief pause, Sham Xiao Venerable snorted coldly. We'll deal with you first, then we'll take care of Xiao Zhan. With that, Sham Xiao Venerable raised a hand and tore through the void. The three venerable figures were clearly planning to step into the void to have their battle. Seeing this, Sister Lu also raised her hand and tore open the void, preparing to leave. As the supreme divinity departed, the beastmen surrounding them instantly glowed with bloodlust in their eyes. They could hardly wait to be the first to charge at Xiao Zhan and tear him apart. Let's avenge Golden Ape Venerable. The supreme divinity has left. Now's our chance to take down Xiao Zhan and get revenge for Golden Ape Venerable. Exactly. We'll deal with him. Tear him into 1,000 pieces. Seeing the beastmen getting worked up like this, Tianmi and Zhen Jun immediately spread his arms to stop them, raising his voice as he shouted, "Everyone stay calm. Anyone who goes against my orders will be executed without mercy." Hearing Tianmi and Zhen Jun's warning, the beastmen slowly started to settle down. They exchanged looks with each other before turning to Tian Mian, questioning, "Tian Mian, he's alone now. Are you telling us we can't make a move on him?" Tian Mian Zhen Jun remained calm. He looked at the beastmen and spoke in a deep voice. "Xiao Zhan is cunning. This villain has been surrounded by us, yet he still stays so calm and collected. Don't you all find that suspicious? I suggest we hold off for now, observe his next move, and then decide whether to act." After hearing Tian Mi and Zhen Jun's reasoning, the beastmen felt it made sense. While they didn't fully understand why Tian Mian was acting this way, they felt it was better to trust his judgment. They nodded in agreement. Tian Mi and Zhen Jun shot a cold, hard stare at Xiao Zhan and spoke loudly. "Xiao Zhan, don't think I don't know what you're planning. You're using the same tricks as before. Do you really think we'll fall for them again? You clearly underestimate our intelligence." Xiao Zhan smirked, a hint of a smile at the corner of his mouth, thinking to himself, "This bastard Tian Mian is getting more and more composed. Looks like I'll need to push them a little harder." Thinking of this, Xiao Zhan raised his voice and said, "Everyone, the Golden Ape Venerable died for me and his bones haven't even cooled yet. Don't you all want to avenge him? Ha ha, beastmen, why are you all so cowardly? I feel really sorry for Golden Ape Venerable." Hearing Xiao Zhan's words, the beastmen immediately burst into chaos, shouting angrily, "Mr. Tian Mian, give the order. Let us charge in and avenge Golden Ape Venerable." "Right, let us avenge Golden Ape Venerable." Faced with the beastman's fury, Tian Mi and Zhen Jun remained silent, not saying a word. His expression tightened and he thought to himself, what exactly is Xiao Zhan trying to do? At that moment, the butterfly empress descended like a comet, crashing from the sky straight down to the ground, heading north. Boom! Boom! The ground shook and dust swirled everywhere. A moment later, as the dust settled, the figure of the butterfly empress appeared. She carried 2 giant axes, and beneath her feet, the stone slabs cracked and broke. Seeing her, the nearby beastmen couldn't help but be stunned. Their eyes filled with shock as they exclaimed, "It's the Butterfly Empress! The Butterfly Empress is here!" The Butterfly Empress raised her head and glared at Xiao Zhan, shouting in anger, "Xiao Zhan, why are you treating me like this?" As soon as she finished speaking, the Butterfly Empress swung her giant axe backwards with both hands, her body shooting forward like lightning, heading straight for Xiao Zhan. She aimed to strike him with a powerful blow to the head. Demonic Chu immediately activated the ethereal steps of yin and yang, and in the blink of an eye, his figure effortlessly dodged the Butterfly Empress's deadly swing. Tian Mi and Zhen Jun, standing below, frowned as he watched the scene unfold. He shook his head slightly and sighed. Xiao Zhan was able to dodge such a powerful attack from the Butterfly Empress with ease. Just how strong has he come? From his aura, he still seems to be in the godly power realm. Hearing this, King Yu, Great Saint, showed a worried expression. He furrowed his brows and asked Tian Mian, "Tian Mian, should we stop the Butterfly Empress?" Tian Mian shook his head and sighed softly. "We can't stop her. If we don't let her vent her anger, she'll go mad. Just let her get it out of her system for now. When the time comes, we'll act. We can't let Xiao Zhan harm her life." King Yu, Great Saint, nodded. "Yeah, that's the only choice we have. I wonder how things are going with the Saint King's battle. I bet they'll win for sure. With 2 pieces of Imperial artifacts in hand, they should be more than enough to suppress a supreme divinity." Tian Mian immediately shot a cold, sharp glance at King Yu, the Great Saint, and shouted, "King Yu, with that unlucky name of yours, you'd better stay quiet and just watch. Back on the battlefield, after narrowly avoiding the giant axe of the butterfly empress, Xiao Zhan flashed a sly smile and said to her, "Right, hatred really is the source of strength. Now you're starting to look a bit like the barbarian goddess of Tian Yao." Xiao Zhan's taunt seemed to hit a raw nerve with the butterfly empress, only making her angrier. With her right hand, Butterfly Empress held the giant axe upright and swung it down fiercely at Xiao Zhan's head. Her voice was filled with rage as she screamed, "Because of you, I've killed my own master." Boom! The impact of the axe created a massive shockwave, and once again, demonic Chu's figure vanished in an instant. But the Butterfly Empress didn't stop there. She quickly charged at Xiao Zhan again and swung her axe. Yet Xiao Zhan continued to use his incredible speed, disappearing in the blink of an eye. In a split second, he appeared directly behind her. Xiao Zhan leaned in close to her ear and gave her a mocking smile. "Isn't it because you like me too much?" Constantly teased by Xiao Zhan, Butterfly Empress was furious, wishing she could tear him into 100 pieces. Grinding her teeth, she snapped in rage, "You." With those words, she immediately spun around, swinging the giant axe down. But before the blade could even reach Xiao Zhan, he caught it with one hand. Demonic Chu shifted slightly, clenched his fist, and delivered a powerful asterisk human emperor punch asterisk. Asterisk break asterisk. The blow landed, causing Butterfly Empress severe damage. Blood sprayed from her mouth in a torrent. Xiao Zhan grabbed Butterfly Empress by the throat with one hand and lifted her up. Calmly, he looked at her with a mocking smile and said, "You can't even use 1/10,000th of the strength of the barbarian goddess's body. How do you plan to fight me like this? You're too weak. So weak that even when I've been holding back, you still can't hurt me." Blood continued to pour from Butterfly Empress's mouth as her eyes grew vacant. She stared directly at Xiao Zhan and asked, "Are you proud of yourself?" Xiao Zhan shook his head. Smiling gently, he replied casually, "I've plotted against your master. I'm sure it hurts you deeply, doesn't it? You must hate me now, right?" Butterfly Empress opened her mouth, confused, and answered blankly, "I don't know if I hate you. I don't even know if I'm sad. My master died for me, but I never shed a single tear. Maybe my master wasn't as weak in my heart as you think." Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan shook his head lightly, sighed, and said, "You fool, you're just so heartbroken that you don't even know how to whimper anymore. You probably hate me, don't you? Hatred is the true source of power. You really are a foolish child." Xiao Zhan then looked at the Butterfly Empress and asked, "You say I used you to destroy all the beastmen here. If that's the case, your hatred for me must be even stronger, right?" The Butterfly Empress' pupils suddenly shrank and her body trembled as she struggled, screaming, No, don't. Down below, the beastman tribe saw that Xiao Zhan had caught the Butterfly Empress, and not only that, but she was still struggling, her face filled with pain. They were furious and yelled, "Xiao Zhan, you monster! Charge and kill him! Save the Butterfly Empress!" Despite the beastman's angry shouts below, up above, Demonic Chu leaned in close to the Butterfly Empress' ear. A cruel smile spread across his face as he said, "I already set everything up. As soon as they dare approach, I will wipe them all out. And right now, you're in my hands. They'll definitely come to save you, even if they know there's a trap." He chuckled darkly. "Are you feeling completely powerless, completely desperate now?" Upon hearing this, the Butterfly Empress felt a chill run down her spine. She had indirectly caused the death of Golden Ape Venerable, and now Xiao Zhan wanted all the powerful warriors of Tian Yao City to die with him. How could she accept this? In a panic, she shouted loudly to the beastman tribe below, "Stop! Don't come any closer, I command you." Do not approach. But they no longer listened to her orders. At this moment, they only had one thought in their minds, to kill Xiao Zhan and save the Butterfly Empress. In their frenzy, the beastman tribe immediately charged forward to attack Xiao Zhan. Tears streamed down the Butterfly Empress's face. She had never felt so desperate in her life. Her voice choked with emotion. "No, why is this happening? No, everyone, don't come. The Butterfly Empress can't bear this. What is love in this world?" Suddenly, Xiao Zhan released his grip and let the Butterfly Empress go. His cold expression fixed on her, he spoke indifferently. "Do you know why this is happening? Because you're not strong enough." At the same time, inside the golden orb, Lin Qiao and Lu Hongyi had been quietly watching the movements of Xiao Zhan from the high platform. Lin Qiao looked at Lu Hongyi with a confused expression and asked, "Sister Lu, why does Xiao Zhan have to do this? Doesn't the Butterfly Empress really like him?" Seeing this scene, a hint of fear appeared in Lin Qiao's heart. She thought to herself, Xiao Zhan used to be so kind. Why has he become so cruel and ruthless now? He's not the person he used to be anymore, Catching Lin Qiao's gaze, Lu Hongyi seemed to understand what the young girl was thinking. She subtly glanced over at Xiao Zhan and sighed, saying softly, "Do you know why he's treating the butterfly empress like this?" Ling Qiao shook her head and asked, "Why? Is there some deeper reason behind all this?" Liu Hongyi nodded and replied, "The butterfly empress is like a mirror to him. Xiao Zhan sees his former self in her. He despises who he used to be. He hates being weak, helpless, and incapable. Because of that, he's willing to become the kind of person who once hurt him, to hurt the butterfly empress in the same way. He wants her to hate him, to force her to become like he is now, cold, heartless, and ruthless. In reality, he's trying to help her grow stronger, to help her move past the pain. You'll probably think he's crazy for doing this, but honestly, you can't blame him. He's been forced by the world to become the person he is today." Hearing this, Lin Qiao was startled. With a hint of worry in her voice, she looked at Liu Hongyi and quickly asked, "Sister Liu, aren't you afraid of Brother Shuo like this?" Liu Hongyi shook her head. "Why should I be afraid of him? He's the only family I have. Even if he deceives me, uses me, or ends up taking my life. So what?" At that moment, the beastmen had already closed into about half a mile from where Xiao Zhan was standing. Demonic Chu's face remained expressionless. The Supreme Divinity Formation plate suddenly flew out from the store ring, buzzing through the air. Xiao Zhan said nothing. He immediately activated the Supreme Divinity Formation. 8 powerful sickles shot out, swirling around the formation plate. Along with them came waves of terrifying energy that spread outward. Realizing something was wrong, the beastmen were struck with panic. The formation plate seemed to transform into a massive net, trapping all the beastmen within half a mile in its grip. The golden orb, originally a defensive formation, instantly turned into a deadly killing trap. This killing formation of demonic Chus had reached the 8th level. Once caught inside, even a great saint wouldn't survive. Witnessing this scene, Tian and Zhen Jun couldn't help but exclaim in shock. This is a killing trap matrix. How is this possible? Did Liu Hongyi and the others not only break the prison formation, but also set up a killing trap matrix for Xiao Zhan? From above, Xiao Zhan smiled, speaking calmly. "Tian Mian, no matter how cunning or alert you are, or how much you can see through my plans, what does it matter? Didn't you still rush in here? Didn't I still succeed? Ha ha! You must be feeling incredibly powerless right now. Want to kill me? Well, come me then." Tian and Zhen Jun stood below, isolated and alone. His eyes were filled with disbelief as he stared at Xiao Zhan and asked, "This place is heavily guarded. Xiao Zhan, when did you manage to tamper with the formation here?" As he spoke, Tian and Zhen Jun was also thinking to himself, "Asterisk, let's hear his explanation first. I need to buy some time. The Saint Kings will return and then I'll be able to save my people." Asterisk. Xiao Zhan, fully aware of what Tian Mian was thinking, curled the corner of his mouth into a smile. He raised his voice and said confidently, "It was the very day I arrived in Tian Yao City. So how do you like this gift, Tian Mian?" Tian Mian Zhen Jun's eyes twitched with anger, and he gritted his teeth, cursing to himself. "So he's been deceiving us all along, huh? Damn it, I've been guarding here every day, and still Xiao Zhan has managed to sneak in and steal from us. This time, I'm going to settle things with him once and for all." With that thought, he took a deep breath and let out a bitter laugh. "Xiao Zhan, there's one more thing I want to ask you." Xiao Zhan smiled and responded, "Tian Mian, we've known each other for so long. There's no need to be so formal. Ask whatever you want. As for whether I'll answer, well, that depends on my mood." Tian and Zhen Jun then turned his gaze toward the butterfly empress, his voice tinged with suspicion. "With your ruthless and decisive nature, Xiao Zhan, if you really wanted to take the butterfly empress's life, she wouldn't have made it this far. So why haven't you killed her? Could it be that you feel guilty?" At this, Xiao Zhan threw his head back and laughed loudly. "Ha ha, Tian Mian, oh Tian Mian, with your intelligence, you shouldn't be asking such a foolish question. Me, Xiao Zhan, feeling guilty? That's laughable." He paused for a moment, then added with a dark grin, "All right, enough of this. As to the lives of these beastmen, I'll take their heads without hesitation." With those words, Xiao Zhan immediately spread his hand, ready to activate the Supreme Divinity Array, preparing to trigger the devastating formation that would wipe out all the beastmen trapped inside. Tian and Zhen Jun's expression immediately turned frantic. He quickly spoke up to try to stop Xiao Zhan. "Wait, Xiao Zhan, think carefully. You're killing our beastmen people. Isn't it just for the spirit stones? Tian Yao City is willing to offer divine spiritual stones in exchange for their lives." Hearing this, Xiao Zhan immediately stopped, a look of interest crossed his face, and he let out a soft, "Oh." Seeing this, Tian and Zhen Jun couldn't help but let out a relieved sigh. Killing these people doesn't really benefit you in any major way. Instead, if you make a deal with us, you'll gain much more. I'm sure you understand this in your heart. Xiao Zhan gave a slight nod, smiling as he responded, Tian Mian, you really do understand me. However, you still don't have enough weight behind you. You don't represent the will of Tianyao City, so you're not in a position to make a deal with me. To avoid any unexpected problems, I think it's safer to deal with them all now. I've always believed that if I'm going to take a bite of meat, I should be the one to chew it myself. Tian Mian Zhen Jun heard this and immediately felt a surge of anxiety. He cursed silently to himself. These idiots, if I had known earlier, I would have jumped in to stop Butterfly Empress the moment she made her move. He snorted coldly, continuing to think. Humph, even if I had tried to stop it back then, it probably would have been too late. That old sixth guy must have already predicted that Butterfly Empress would appear, which is why he was able to stay calm and keep us all in check. Tian Mi and Zhen Jun glanced over at Xiao Zhan, who was standing in the distance, his mind racing. The more he thought about it, the colder the feeling in his chest grew. On the other hand, Xiao Zhan didn't think much about it. He was just following his usual habit of setting up a backup plan. When he saw Butterfly Empress appear, the idea of using her as a trigger crossed his mind. He hadn't expected that using Butterfly Empress would lead to such an effective result. That was an unexpected bonus in a way. At that moment, a massive crack suddenly appeared in the sky above Tianyao City. From within the crack, 4 figures emerged. At the front was Sister Lu, with an unmatched presence. Behind her were Butterfly Empress and Shan Xiao Venerable. Lastly, a young girl dressed in a green dress followed them. She was Tian Yun Zi, a supreme divinity who had just been released from her seal. As soon as Xiao Zhan saw Sister Lu, he immediately stopped what he was doing. He thought to himself, asterisk, Sister Lu didn't kill Shan Xiao Venerable or the butterfly. And wait, who is the person standing next to her? At first glance, she seems small and delicate, but her inner power is incredibly high asterisk. At that moment, Butterfly noticed that Butterfly Empress was unconscious in Xiao Zhan's arms. Despite Supreme Divinity Lu Qingyu's threats, she immediately furrowed her brows, her eyes filled with murderous intent. She raised her voice sharply and said to Xiao Zhan, let Butterfly Empress go right now. Xiao Zhan slightly curled the corner of his lips into a smile. Since Butterfly Senior has spoken, how could I not show respect? After all, she's useless now. I'll return her to you. With that, Xiao Zhan's right hand moved, and he threw Butterfly Empress down in front of Butterfly. Without hesitation, Butterfly waved her hand, releasing an invisible force that wrapped around the unconscious figure and pulled her closer. Seeing her daughter, Butterfly's expression became hollow with overwhelming sorrow, but she quickly regained her composure, knowing this wasn't the time to grieve. With a cold, piercing gaze, she fixed her eyes on Xiao Zhan and calmly asked, Xiao Zhan, tell me, what will it take for you to agree to open the formation and release our people? Butterfly knew very well that Golden 8 Venerable was already dead. If the thousands of residents from Tianyao City were to die as well, the city simply wouldn't be able to survive such a loss. Standing to one side, Sister Lu raised her arm, pointing towards Shumai Mountain. She gave a calm smile and said, wait, don't forget, their lives are in my hands too. With those words, Lu Qingyu turned to look at Xiao Zhan and flashed a seductive smile. Xiao Zhan, little brother, let me ask you, you want these people to live or die? If you want them dead, I can act right away. As soon as she finished speaking, the air around them grew heavy. Butterfly, Shan Xiao Venerable, and Tian Mian Zhen Jun all twisted their faces in anger. They were all saint kings, great saints, figures at the top of the world wherever they went. They were used to being in control and revered by others. Never had they imagined that one day their lives might not be in their own hands, but controlled by someone younger, someone with only the cultivation of a mere divine realm. How could they not feel aggrieved? How could they not feel wronged? Suddenly, Tian Yunzai turned to Xiao Zhan and spoke up, saying, please spare these 3 a chance at survival. Don't be too ruthless in your actions. You should leave them some way out. If you can spare them, do so. What do you think? Upon hearing this, Xiao Zhan made a face of obvious disgust. He shot a contemptuous look at Tian Yunzi and angrily muttered to himself, damn it, giving me a lecture. Who is this kid anyway? Thinking this, Xiao Zhan quietly observed Tian Yunzi before walking over to Sister Lu. He lowered his voice and asked, Sister Lu, who is this person? Sister Lu curled her lips in disdain. She shot a scornful glance at Tian Yunzi and said, she's a supreme divinity who just broke her seal. Her true form is a mystic turtle. You don't need to worry about her. With Sumai Mountain in our hands, she's no match for me. Xiao Zhan was shocked when he heard Sister Lu's words. He hadn't expected her to have such a deep cultivation. Clearly, like Sister Lu, she was a supreme divinity who had broken her seal. At that moment, Xiao Zhan bowed respectfully to Tian Yunzi and said, Senior, you're speaking up for the 3 Saint Kings. If I don't agree, it would be a complete breach of etiquette. Here's what I propose. hand over all the assets in Tian Yao City's treasury to me, and we'll leave immediately. Senior, what do you think? Upon hearing this, Tian Yunzi's face twitched. Junior, you. Xiao Zhan saw that Tian Yunzi hesitated and sneered. What's the matter? Senior doesn't want to agree. Sister Liu was getting ready to make her move. She flashed a seductive smile, and with a firm grip on Shumai Mountain, prepared to strike. Seeing this, Tian Yunzi quickly sent a message to Xiao Zhan. Young friend, are you planning to head to Taiji Guxing soon? I have information about the land of Dao. If you're willing to make a concession, I can tell you where the land of Dao might be located within Taiji Guxing. Xiao Zhan's eyes instantly lit up. Really? How can I be sure your words are true? How do you know I'm trying to find the land of Dao? Tian Yunzi smiled lightly, his face showing a confident expression. Of course, I can swear on the turtle's shell. I would never deceive you, young friend. Actually, I've only recently broken free myself. If it weren't for your tribulation before, I might have stepped in to stop the younger generation from attacking you. The Holy Master of Tai Su's Holy Ground suffered an injury because of you, and you're sure to find a way to heal her. The only way to do that is by finding the land of Dao, and I just happen to know where it might exist within Taiji Guxing. Xiao Zhan's pupils shifted slightly. After thinking for a moment, he sent a message to Tian Yunzi. You know a lot. Tian Yunzi smiled again and replied, You naturally learn a lot when you've lived as long as I have. Xiao Zhan was deep in thought, then continued to send a voice transmission to Tian Yunzi. Senior, what do you need to do for me to trust you? What if you casually mention a dangerous place? Am I supposed to rush there? And in the end, I will gain anything? Who am I supposed to cry to then? Tian Yunzi was at a loss for words, so she swore an oath to the heavenly Tao. I, Tian Yunzi, swear by the heavenly Tao that if I deceive Xiao Zhan and lead him into a deadly place, may I never be reborn for 1,000 years, and may my body disintegrate. Upon hearing Tian Yunzi's oath, Xiao Zhan's attitude shifted. He immediately cupped his hands and bowed to her, saying, Senior, you're overreacting. Honestly, there's no need for such a grand oath. How could I, a junior like myself, not trust your words? Earlier, you taught me something valuable. One shouldn't be too heartless. It's important to leave some room for retreat, and to show mercy when possible. Just tell me where the land of Dao might be, and I'll have my sister release the 3 Saint Kings. I could also release the beastmen trapped in the killing trap matrix, but these beastmen were difficult to capture, and Tian Yao City had to pay a corresponding price for them, after all. Xiao Venerable couldn't hold it in anymore and, filled with anger, spoke up. Xiao Zhan, do you really think I will give in to your demands, just because of these little demons? Suddenly, from inside the killing formation, Tu Shan Yu, pretending to be terrified, began crying pitifully. Hugh, I'm trapped in here. I don't want to die. Please help me. Senior brother, save me. Seeing his precious younger sister trapped in the killing formation, Tian Mian Zhen Jun couldn't hide his anxiety. He shouted urgently, Your esteemed seniors, you are trapped inside. She's my only sister. I beg you, please save her. Xiao Zhan smirked slightly, a hint of amusement flashing across his face. He was clearly pleased with Tu Shan Yu's performance. Maintaining a calm demeanor, Xiao Zhan looked inside the formation and then started pointing with his finger, counting 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs. Both Butterfly and Shan Xiao Venerable, seeing this scene, couldn't hide their displeasure. Everyone here were cultivators. Didn't they know they could scan the formation with their spiritual sense and immediately see how many people were inside? Yet Xiao Zhan was making a show of it, casually counting with his hand, as if he were counting sheep. Although they were furious, both Butterfly and Shan Xiao Venerable didn't dare speak up. They could only grit their teeth in silence, waiting for Xiao Zhan to finish counting. After 3 hours, Xiao Zhan finally finished. He smiled, his face full of joy, and said, All right, I've finished counting. There are a total of 24,787 people inside the Great Formation. Among them, there are 8 Great Saints, 47 Low Saints, 5,784 people in the Godly Power realm, and 18,948 in the Dao Palace realm. Shan Xiao Venerable's heart was bleeding. Golden Ape Venerable had been killed by Xiao Zhan, and they hated him so much they could barely control the urge to tear him apart. Now, they were faced with a domineering empress who forced them to compromise, even threatening them. It was a bitter pill to swallow. So much frustration, so much resentment. Unable to hold back anymore, he snapped. All right, enough of this. Just tell me, what do you want? Xiao Zhan calmly raised his index finger and replied casually, A great saint costs 100 million divine spiritual stones. Low saints are a bit cheaper, minus 10 million divine spiritual stones each. Then there are the 5,784 people in the godly power realm, each worth 100,000 divine spiritual stones. Finally, 18,948 in the Tao Palace realm. Each one can be exchanged for 10,000 divine spiritual stones. What do you think of these prices? After hearing Xiao Zhan's luxury price, both Butterfly and Shan Xiao Venerable were left speechless. A single great saint costs 100 million divine spiritual stones, so 8 great saints would be equivalent to 800 million divine spiritual stones, not to mention the low saints and Tao Palace realm. It's important to note that a low saint wouldn't even earn 10,000 divine spiritual stones in their lifetime. Isn't this just too much pressure? Shan Xiao, Venerable's eyes darkened. He knew he couldn't argue with Xiao Zhan any longer. Struggling to hold back his pain, he said coldly, "Fine, I agree. I'll release them." As soon as he spoke, Xiao Zhan immediately lifted the trapping formation, releasing the entire beastman tribe that had been caught inside. At the same time, he pulled back the Supreme Divinity formation plate into his palm. He glanced down at the chaos below, where the Yao Man were scrambling around, and smiled smugly. He gently placed over 2 billion divine spiritual stones into his pouch, leaving Tian Yao of the treasury with almost nothing left. At that moment, standing among the crowd, Tu Shan Yu secretly waved at Xiao Zhan. She smiled happily and transmitted her voice. "Master, how did you do?" Xiao Zhan looked at Tu Shan Yu and gave her a soft smile. All right. When we get back tonight, I'll reward you." Tu Shan Yu immediately remembered the night when she had ridden horses with Xiao Zhan and learned a spell. Her face flushed with a deep blush. She gently licked the tip of her index finger, then spoke softly. "Then I want it to be like that night." Xiao Zhan gave a small nod, the corner of his mouth curling into a mischievous smile. Sure, that's easy. You go ahead and wait for me at home. I need to talk to Lu Hongyi." Tu Shan Yu squinted her eyes and smiled. "All right, Yuer will wait for you at home." Later that night, in the northern part of Tian Yao City, after completing his mission, Demonic Chu entered the glowing ore to meet Lu Hongyi. Lu Hongyi was still standing in place, waiting for Xiao Zhan. He slowly approached her. Decades had passed, and finally, the two of them were meeting again. They stood silently, gazing at each other for a long while, as if time itself had frozen in that moment. Liu Hongyi looked at the figure before her, familiar yet distant. She couldn't hold back her emotions, and tears began to stream down her cheeks. Xiao Zhan smiled gently and spoke in a soft voice. "It's been so long. Why are you crying? We finally reunited. Isn't that a good thing?" As Xiao Zhan spoke, he gently wiped away a tear from Liu Hongyi's cheek with the tip of his finger. Liu Hongyi, her red lips slightly pouting, scolded softly, "Why did you come to find me?" Xiao Zhan shook his head and sighed. "I've offended too many people. If I came to find you, it would only put you in danger." Liu Hongyi's face fell, and she reached out, taking hold of Xiao Zhan's arm. "When I heard you were gone, I was so angry. I hated the people who hunted you, and I even hated you." Xiao Zhan gently lifted his hand and lightly rubbed the top of Liu Hongyi's head. This simple gesture stunned her, and for a moment, it felt as though they were back in the past when they had first met. Tears welled up in Liu Hongyi's eyes, and she tilted her head to look at Xiao Zhan, choking up, unable to say a word. Xiao Zhan smiled, his voice soft and warm. "If you hated me, why would you go after revenge for me, you fool?" A faint blush spread across Liu Hongyi's face. She shot him a glare and huffed, pouting, "You're the fool. You know how powerful those forces are, and yet you still go and provoke them." Xiao Zhan shook his head helplessly, its expression one of resignation, and replied calmly, "I don't want to do this either." Demonic Chu couldn't say anything further. Earlier, his inner state had risen too quickly, causing his foundation to become unstable. In order to make up for the lack of power, he had no choice but to keep doing bad things to earn special rewards from the system. This created a vicious cycle. Luckily, later on, he came up with the idea of reincarnation and decided to rebuild. Otherwise, reaching the Saint King level might have been the limit of his power for this lifetime. The two continued to chat endlessly, sharing stories about the experiences they had gone through over the years. Liu Hongyi's experiences were simpler, mostly cultivation, hunting, and killing wild beasts to sharpen her skills. Suddenly, Liu Hongyi pulled out a black pendant from her store ring. "I'm sure you're curious about this," she said. She then casually shared the story of her father, Lin Kiao. After finding the pendant, she had gone through many trials and tribulations. In the end, Lin Kiao entrusted the pendant to Liu Hongyi for safekeeping. Xiao Zhan took the pendant and gently ran his fingers over it. As expected, the blood-red pupil had lied. This pendant had indeed fallen from that gray world, and it had been together with the blood-red pupil. As he spoke, Demonic Chu carefully focused, sensing every little detail. He thought to himself, aside from its tough appearance and somewhat unsettling shape, there didn't seem to be anything particularly special about it. He felt a little disappointed. I used to think this was some kind of powerful item similar in function to jade glass. Jade glass can help me enter the primordial universe, while this pendant is supposed to help me enter that great world. If I could make it into the Hongluang heavenly realm, I'd be able to freely consume. The creatures, like the blood-red copper beings, would then quickly upgrade the Tao seeds. Unfortunately, it was all just a fantasy. Reality was much more brutal. With that thought, Xiao Zhan handed the pendant back to Lu Hongyi. I don't know what this pendant does for now, but you should keep it for the time being. Liu Hongyi immediately shook her head. You should keep it. My strength is too low, and I might not be able to protect it. If you figure out its purpose later, just let me know. Xiao Zhan clenched the pendant tightly, responding with a firm nod. All right. After placing the pendant into his store ring, Xiao Zhan turned to Liu Hongyi and asked again, Hongyi, what do you plan to do next? Liu Hongyi paused for a moment, then tilted her head and looked at Xiao Zhan, asking in return, where do you want me to go? Xiao Zhan's expression was serious as he looked at Liu Hongyi and said, right now, I'm the holy son of Tai Su Holy Ground, and with Sister Liu protecting me, I have both status and strength. No one will dare to hunt me down anymore. Why don't you come with me and return to Tai Su Holy Ground? Xiao Zhan gazed at Liu Hongyi, his eyes full of expectation. He thought she would agree, but to his surprise, Liu Hongyi shook her head and refused. My sword heart needs to be trained to kill and fight. If I settle down, it'll harm my path in the future. As she said this, Liu Hongyi looked directly at Xiao Zhan with her large, clear eyes and smiled. A smile that could charm the world. Just having the chance to meet you again is enough for me. Xiao Zhan reached out and gently pulled Liu Hongyi into his arms, holding her tightly. With his other hand, he softly stroked her hair and smiled warmly. Hongyi, you've grown up. Liu Hongyi remained silent for a moment, then unexpectedly pressed a kiss to Xiao Zhan's cheek. She smiled gently and said, we'll meet again at the peak. Xiao Zhan tightened his hold around Liu Hongyi's waist. Hongyi, it's enough for me to be by myself. I'm not worth you dedicating your whole life to. Don't keep struggling just for me. I'm sure these past few years have been hard for you. You're the only good thing in this world for me, and I don't want anything to stain that. From now on, I'll protect you. You don't have to go through those battles anymore. Is that okay? Liu Hongyi held Xiao Zhan tightly, resting her head against his chest. In a soft voice, she said, you're such a fool. Even if you turn into a ghost, I would follow you. If you're a ghost, then I'll be a ghost too. I don't want to be the woman hiding behind you. I want to fight side by side with you. As she spoke, Liu Hongyi couldn't help but sigh. She had read a lot of information about Xiao Zhan. Ever since he turned dark, his behavior had completely changed, especially when it came to how he treated women. The more she thought about it, the more a bitter feeling filled her heart. She wasn't sure what it was, but it definitely felt like soreness. It was clear she'd had come first. He was obviously flawed in so many ways, and she couldn't understand why he seemed uninterested in her. And now, seeing him again, it felt like he was purposely keeping his distance from her. With that thought in mind, Liu Hongyi suddenly hugged Xiao Zhan even tighter, gently pulling his face closer to hers. In a soft voice, she asked, before we part, could you grant me one last wish? Xiao Zhan was left speechless when he heard that. While Demonic Chu was still confused, staring at Liu Hongyi and unsure of what her intentions were, Liu Hongyi kissed him directly on the lips. The kiss, unexpected and full of the soft sweetness of Liu Hongyi's lips, quickly overwhelmed Demonic Chu. In that moment, he lost all sense of reason. In the stillness of the late night, the air was filled with the sound of heavy breaths, mixed with long, soft moans. They exchanged a passionate kiss, caught up in the heat of the moment. As for Demonic Chu, he never once disrespected the bright moonlight. He simply held Liu Hongyi's waist tightly, not letting his hands wander as they might with other women. On the other hand, Liu Hongyi was the one to take the initiative, reaching down in a way that signaled the start of an intense, fiery exchange. Looking at Xiao Zhan's defeated expression, it was clear he was going to lose, probably in the peeling the sword sheath round. Heh. And well, everyone knows what happens next, but hopefully Xiao Zhan doesn't get too carried away and ends up leaning on the wall to walk away. The scene shifts to the next morning in a villa located in the southern part of Tianyao City. Inside the villa, beneath the shade of an ancient pine tree, Sister Luo, dressed in a stunning purple gown, sat gracefully at the stone table opposite. It was none other than Supreme Divinity Tian Yunzi. She was gently spinning her old turtle-shaped divination tool on the table with one hand, while the other hand made intricate gestures, murmuring a string of ancient words under her breath. After a while, Tian Yunzi looked up at Sister Lu and asked, Miss Lu, what would you like me to divine for you? Sister Lu smiled softly and replied, what do I want to know? Don't you think you should already know the answer? If you can't figure it out, I'll just have to send you away. Tian Yunzi gave a helpless look, understanding that Lu Qingyu was testing her. With a deep breath, she focused her energy, and the jade-colored turtle on the table began to spin faster. As it did, a strange energy began to radiate from within the turtle. After a moment, Tian Yunzi's eyes widened and her expression grew puzzled as she looked at Sister Lu, hesitating before speaking. This, fellow Taoists, are you asking to divine the fate of Xiao Zhan? Lu Qingyu's face broke into a beautiful smile. She lightly clapped her hands, delighted, and said, not bad, you really do have some skill. So, and you see his destiny? Tian Yunzi immediately shook her head and sighed, responding, fellow Taoist, you're putting me in a tough spot. The first time I saw Xiao Zhan, I could tell he was different. His fate is like a vast, endless ocean of blood, boundless and infinite. I've never seen such a strange fate before. After that, I tried to calculate his future, but as soon as I began, I realized something. If I kept going, a great terror would befall me, and I might die right there on the spot. His situation is too extraordinary. Fellow Taoist, if you want me to calculate his future, I must be honest, I really can't do it. Lu Yi then spoke up from inside. If that's the case, then ask about his destiny and love. I'm curious, will I end up falling for that kid? Sister Lu immediately furrowed her brows at this, giving Lu Yi a sharp glare and scolding, huff, you're shameless. You're thousands of years old. Can't you be a little more serious and proper? Lu Yi responded coldly, what do you know? We can base it on our connection to that young man. I want to use our bond to peek into his future. Xiao Zhan's fate is tied to the blood-colored destiny of humanity. Not only that, but it's also connected to the outer heavens and the secret of eternal life. Hearing Lu Yi's words, Sister Lu finally agreed. She turned to Tian Yunzi and said, read my destiny with him then. Despite any disagreements between her and Lu Yi, the ultimate goal for both of them was the same, eternal life. Tian Yunzi smiled and let out a soft breath before replying, all right. She thought to herself, as long as I don't have to determine Xiao Zhan's fate, anything else is fine. Tian Yunzi was, after all, a top-tier powerhouse revered by the world as a supreme master of divination. Whenever others sought her to read their fortunes, they would pay her. But Xiao Zhan, instead of paying her, not only refused to give her any money, but even wanted her life. Tian Yunzi placed the turtle shell back on the stone table. She raised her hand and began to perform a series of hand seals. As she did, a strange energy began to radiate from the turtle shell. After a moment of contemplation, Tian Yunzi opened her eyes wide and looked at Sister Lu with a joyful expression, nodding. Miss Lu's fate is perfect. You'll have a complete family with children on both sides. Sister Lu, hearing that she would have children on both sides of the family, was momentarily stunned. Suddenly, Tian Yunzi's face filled with shock, and she exclaimed, wait a minute. Seeing this reaction, Sister Lu hurriedly asked, what's wrong? What do you see? Tian Yunzi's face was filled with disbelief, and she gasped, choking out a sound before spitting out a mouthful of blood. Seeing the energy leaving Tian Yunzi, Sister Lu asked in surprise, what exactly did you see? Tian Yunzi's aura weakened. She leaned back against the chair, taking a while to recover her composure and calm down. I followed the thread of fate connected to Miss Lu and observed the future. I saw the sky itself crack open, with a massive tear forming. Within it, a strange, grayish bone spread across the continent. Inside that bone were countless monsters, ferocious and terrifying, like a wave set to wipe out the entire world. Their goal was to kill a great emperor. I couldn't clearly see the face of this emperor, but I'm certain it wasn't any emperor from history. At that moment, fellow Taoist, you were right next to him, so it's likely that this emperor is someone connected to you. But then, why did you spit blood? Sister Lu's beautiful eyes flickered slightly, her mind struggling to comprehend. Was it possible that in the future, she would have a Tao companion, and that companion would be a great emperor? Lu Yi, who had been waiting inside, spoke up. The person Tian Yunzi saw earlier could very well have been Xiao Zhan, our younger brother. In this era, he's the only one who has the potential to attain the Tao and become an emperor. His path is truly unique. I also observed the future through the thread of fate, but a monster from the gray bone noticed me. It merely glanced at me, and it nearly destroyed me. My soul was almost obliterated. Sister Lu could clearly sense that Tian Yunzi's soul had indeed been injured, and the injury was quite serious. This suggested that the other party likely wasn't lying. If that was the case, just revealing such important information in a few brief sentences seemed too risky. First, she would have a husband and also children. Second, her partner might very well become an emperor in this era. And third, the eerie gray bones that wiped out the Tian Qiong Continent. Monsters within those gray bones had surrounded and killed her partner. Liu Yi calmly analyzed everything. Throughout history, there were powerful supreme divinities who could use great divine abilities to travel through time, moving backward to the past and forward to the future, just like Tian Yunzi. Using the realm to probe the future was undoubtedly dangerous, as spying on the future could easily lead to being sensed. If a truly powerful being noticed, there was a high chance that they would be struck down by someone manipulating time. Tian Yunzi was still considered to have good luck. From what she said about the monster, it was clear that the monster hadn't taken her seriously. If it had, she would have certainly died without a doubt. With a pale face, Tian Yunzi turned to Sister Liu and said, "Thankfully, the other party didn't pay me any attention. Otherwise, my soul would have perished for good. Miss Liu, our agreement is now fulfilled. I need to find a place to heal. In the future, when I have time, I would like to discuss things further with you, fellow Taoist." After speaking, Tian Yunzi stretched out his hand, tore through the fabric of space, and stepped into it, disappearing without a trace. Once Tian Yunzi left, Lu Qingyu, the sister of Liu, sat alone at the stone table. She propped her chin up with one hand, her gaze distant as she fell into deep thought. Is that monster really that powerful? What will happen in the future? Inside the Golden Org in Tianyao City, after several hours of practicing techniques, Xiao Zhan and Liu Hongyi were now lying on the ground, resting on the protective cloak. Xiao Zhan slowly sat up, turning his head to look at Liu Hongyi, who had her back to him, adjusting her clothes. As if sensing something, his demonic Chu pupils subtly shifted. "Hongyi, are you leaving?" he asked. Liu Hongyi adjusted the straps on her shoulder. "Yes, I want to become stronger. I don't want to be a burden to you anymore." After saying this, Liu Hongyi slowly walked over to Xiao Zhan's side. She gently stroked his cheek with her hand. "Only when I'm strong enough will I be able to help you." With that, Liu Hongyi lowered her head and placed a soft kiss on Xiao Zhan's forehead. Xiao Zhan looked up at her, his voice tinged with regret. "We're parting again, aren't we?" Liu Hongyi smiled softly as she gently brushed a strand of hair away from her forehead. "Parting is just so that our next meeting will be better. That's what you told me before." Xiao Zhan sighed, reluctantly nodding. "All right, if you've made up your mind, I won't stop you. Let me take you out of Tianyao City." Liu Hongyi nodded in agreement, quietly acknowledging him. Without another word, they left the Golden Orb. She linked her arm with Xiao Zhan's, and they walked together down a quiet path. The moment of farewell was near, and neither of them spoke, choosing instead to enjoy this last peaceful moment together. After a while, Xiao Zhan broke the silence. "By the way, there's something I want to give you." Liu Hongyi glanced at him, curiosity in her eyes. "What is it?" A slight smile tugged at the corner of Xiao Zhan's mouth, his expression mysterious. He then retrieved the golden orb, refined it into a talisman, and handed it to her. With a gentle smile, he said, "When you're in danger, throw this talisman, and I'll come to you immediately. It can only be used once, but I hope you never have to use it." Liu Hongyi didn't hesitate, happily accepting the talisman from him. "Next time, maybe he'll be coming to save you." Xiao Zhan immediately shrugged his shoulders, completely sure of himself. "That day will never come," he said with confidence. Both of them continued walking out of the city. A short while later, Xiao Zhan and Liu Hongyi arrived at the place where Lin Qiao had been waiting. As soon as Lin Qiao saw them, she bent slightly in greeting. "Xiao Zhan brother, Sister Liu." Xiao Zhan looked at Lin Qiao, nodded gently, and smiled as he spoke. "Lin Qiao, it's been so many years. You've grown up." Lin Qiao nodded in response, her face lighting up with a joyful smile, though her eyes were misty. "Xiao Zhan brother, it's been over 10 years since we last parted ways. Time has flown by, and everything has changed. I'm so glad to still have you and Sister Liu in my life. Without you two, I honestly don't know what I'd do." Xiao Zhan continued to ask, "Do you have any plans? Are you thinking about traveling around with Hong Yi?" Lin Qiao nodded and replied, "Yes, I plan to train with Sister Liu, the person who killed my entire family and must be a powerful force behind him. I want to get stronger so I could take revenge for my parents." As she spoke, her eyes were filled with a cold, vengeful fire. Xiao Zhan didn't want to dwell on the painful topic any longer. He gave a slight nod, his gaze shifting to Liu Hongyi. From his storage ring, he took out a ring and placed it on her index finger. His voice carried a hint of reluctance as he looked at her and said, "This parting. I don't know when we'll meet again. Hongyi, this is a storage ring. Inside it is 1 billion divine spiritual stones. Take it and take care of yourself. If you face any danger, don't act rashly. Whatever you do, always think of an escape plan. Understand?" Liu Hongyi stepped forward, wrapping her arms around Xiao Zhan's waist and rested her head on his chest. I'm not a child anymore. You don't have to worry about me, she said softly. Xiao Zhan nodded slightly, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. The two of them held each other like that in silence. A moment later, Liu Hongyi leaned closer to Xiao Zhan's ear, speaking tenderly, I have to go now. Take care, my husband. The words, my husband, made Xiao Zhan's body tremble. He stood frozen, unable to move, completely still. Finally, Liu Hongyi stepped back with resolve. She and Lin Qiao boarded the flying boat that had been prepared for their departure from Tianyao City. As the flying boat rose into the sky, Liu Hongyi cast a final sorrowful glance down below. She watched as Tianyao City grew smaller and smaller until she could no longer see Xiao Zhan. Without realizing it, tears welled up in her eyes and silently streamed down her cheeks. At this moment, she couldn't pretend to be strong anymore. She truly didn't want to leave Xiao Zhan, but she understood that she was too small and fragile right now. She knew Xiao Zhan had many enemies, and she feared that one day his enemies might use her to threaten him. So she had no choice but to leave. She had become stronger, and she couldn't allow herself to become a burden to him. Lin Qiao stood nearby, watching Liu Hongyi holding back tears. She waited patiently for Sister Liu to calm down before she finally asked, Sister Liu, if you're so reluctant, why leave? Liu Hongyi shook her head lightly, wiped away a tear, and sighed before replying, he has his own path to follow. If I stay by his side, I would only be a hindrance to him. It's time to go. With that, Liu Hongyi turned around, took control of the flying boat, and steered it northward. Her expression had returned to its usual cold, icy demeanor. After her fortune reading with Tian Yunzi, Sister Liu immediately went to find Xiao Zhan. She happened to catch the sight of him, lost in thought, gazing up at the flying boat as Liu Hongyi disappeared into the distance. Sister Liu's voice drifted from behind him, a teasing laugh in her tone. She spoke lazily, This is the first time I've ever seen you look like this. Seems like this girl really holds a special place in your heart. Xiao Zhan stood there, his face blank, his eyes constantly drifting towards the north. If you say my world is all dark, then clearly you are the only light in it. Upon hearing this, Sister Liu raised her hand to cover her mouth, a sly smile creeping onto her face. Oh really? You're not afraid that Shai Meng Yi or even Sister Hua might get jealous? Xiao Zhan immediately turned his head to look at Sister Liu, his smile stiff. So how did the fortune-telling with Tian Yunzi go? Not bad. I guessed just about what I expected. Sister Liu flashed a playful smile. Her charm was so natural it could make demonic Chu lose his senses. Sister Liu, do you know why I'm here? Do you know why I'm looking for you? Xiao Zhan's eyes widened slightly. He shook his head, pretending to be clueless, acting as if he knew nothing at all. Then, like a goddess in a purple dress, she suddenly appeared next to him, casually draping her arm over his shoulder. But that familiar gesture of affection made demonic Chu's hair stand on end. Sister Liu smiled sweetly, her smile so disarming that it made Xiao Zhan shiver, despite herself being perfectly calm. Sweat started to bead up on his face. We talked before about how you made that guy in white embarrassed, but you're different. Instead of following the usual script, you went and betrayed me. You dared to deceive me, huh? You must have a lot of guts. And to top it off, you even dared to kiss me.